That is the Mahindra expectations. Mayuresh Joshi is with us. Mayuresh, let's just talk about these two, the largest NBFC and maybe the largest or the second largest auto company, Bajaj Finance and Mahindra. What's the view?
Afternoon, Prashant. So I think we carry a positive outlook as far as these leadership stocks are concerned. And therefore, I think the expectation largely getting penciled in is a very stable set of numbers. Specifically in the case of Bajaj Finance, I think what probably goes through over the next few quarters in terms of the digitalization that they're embarked upon a few quarters back, and what kind of an effects does it bring in terms of operating leverage, cost optimization, as well as the cross-selling opportunities that obviously it has, specifically very strongly in this consumer durable loan segment that it operates out of. Therefore, our take is that it should be a stable show. It's a leadership NBFC, and obviously I think it should do well over the next few quarters. For Mahindra and Mahindra in general as well, I think our own sense is it should be a steady state number as well. The new launches that they've probably done in the previous few quarters and new launches which will come through in the next few quarters as well, I think that should augur well in terms of the automotive business. Having said that, I think the farm equipment business as well, I think that has been a steady performer for Mahindra and Mahindra. And therefore, if you look at the sum of parts, I think both segments over a longer period of time should do well. I think leaders in their own spaces remain positive on these ones.
Okay, all right. Any view on Newgen Software? Mayuresh, that stock was up, I think, 5% odd. That spiked to the high point of the day. You have a view on that name?
So it's not in our coverage, but again, I think out of the numbers that have been posted specifically by IT companies, our own sense is that Coforge has given a stellar set of numbers, and the management commentary itself was pretty encouraging. I think the street has grabbed Coforge's numbers with both hands. And therefore, I think if Coforge is to deliver what the management is saying, I think the numbers exit 27, numbers exit 28, I think will look stupendous. So I think Coforge has been an outlier as far as the entire IT pack is concerned. And one dark horse, which we are not owning, or I'm not owning personally as well, which has probably remained very, very immune, as I've mentioned time and again, has also been Datamatics Global. I think the stock has not fallen as much as the IT index has. It's not part of the index itself. But the work that Datamatics is probably doing in terms of IT services as a business venture, the Fortune 500 clients that it services, and generative AI that they embarked upon a few years back, the agentic AI tools that they're deploying for Fortune 500 clients. They've deployed something for the metro system as well in Mumbai. And it is a steady show. I think the cash balance on the balance sheet remains extremely strong, and the outlook probably looks as per the management, looks very, very optimistic as well. So not in an active holding list, but this is one stock which has probably stood the test of time.
Okay, got it. Got that, Mayuresh. Stay with us.
That's what's coming through. Mayuresh, anything else on the radar? By the way, just put up the stock of Blue Jet. I'm just noticing it's run up sharply, about 602, 603. Stock's up about 5.5%. Had a one-way move, then it cooled off. But back, I think numbers are next week. Mayuresh.
No, so I think the numbers for Blue Jet are expected and they're in the right field. However, I think our recent addition has been Usha Martin. I think a fabulous set of numbers that Usha Martin has posted in the last week. The ratings and rankings look absolutely fabulous at MarketSmith India. In fact, the cash balance has gone up. It was 336 odd crores end March. It is now 465 crores as we are exiting Q1. The wire rope volumes and business has done exceptionally well. And in spite of steel prices going higher in the quarter gone by, the EBITDA per ton that Usha Martin has reported at 40,600 odd rupees is one of the highest in the recent few quarters. The return ratios look very steady state, 21% ROCs, 18% ROEs, EBITDA margins around that 19.5%, 20.5% bracket look very interestingly poised, because 27% of its top line comes from Europe, 13% comes in from Middle East, where the portion might actually start edging higher in the next few quarters, leading to relatively better EBITDA margins, relatively better cash flows and profitability as well. So this is one recent addition that we've done to our portfolios.
Got it. All right, Mayuresh, thanks a lot for giving us that call on Usha Martin. Big turnaround, and it's done quite well.